Your giant isn't leaving until you confront it.
West side, wake up. 5:30 in the morning. Generations Church.
Hey Generations fan, Pastor George here. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Watch. We're so glad that you're here. I hope your week is off to a great start. Hey listen, your giant isn't leaving until you confront it. It's not gonna leave. It's not gonna step away from your doorstep. It's not gonna do it. You're gonna have to confront it. There's a giant in front of you, but let me encourage you, there is a God inside of you. You are not outmatched, you are not outnumbered, and you are not alone. You can talk about faith, we can sing about faith, we can agree that God is able. Nothing changes until something is released, until we face that demon head on. We got to pray like it matters, we give like it matters, we believe like it matters, we act like God is actually able, and your stone is trusting God at a level you never have before. But where does that trust come from? Where does that trust come from? Where does that faith and trust and acknowledgement come from? Well, it comes from private victories. It comes from private victories that prepare you for public battles. 1 Samuel 17:34-36. Your servant used to keep sheep for his father. Now, let's stop there. Your servant used to keep sheep for his father. Where do you think David's ego was here? He was a young man just starting out, probably had dreams and aspirations, and he had an incredible talent. He was a musician. But don't we give certain jobs and job titles stereotypes? Like if someone is a poet and a songwriter, we don't generally think them as a warrior. But here we read on, and when there came a lion or a bear, I struck him and I killed him. The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and from the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine. Now, I can't tell you how often I have used this methodology in my own life. But here's the deal. You got to fight some battles. You got to fight some battles. We can't sit on the sideline and just simply observe, because we have that in the Bible. We've observed God being victorious over situations that just couldn't be rectified. So we have the observation in our lives. We have the entirety of the word. We have more battles and fights and giants. And so we have the observation of battles being won. But in order for us to engage in battle efficiently, we have to have that confidence. Where does that confidence come from? Now, when I was in the Army, I was a chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and explosive reconnaissance supervisor. Now, that name has taken a shift. When I was first coming in, it was nuclear, biological, and chemical operations specialist. At the time, now it's grown, and there's different facets of it, but primarily the job of that individual is at company level to ensure that all the protective masks, you know, the chemical masks with the filter on them, we were supposed to be in charge of that type of training. Now, in basic training, the first 9 to 11 weeks that every soldier goes through, we are familiarized with our equipment. Why? Well, it's to provide confidence in them. So what we do during basic training, we go through what's called a gas chamber, and it's full of CS riot control gas. And what happens is you have your mask on your hip, you walk in, and they allow you to experience how terrible CS riot agent gas is. Why is that? Well, they want you to have a control sample of what it really feels like versus what it feels like when you have a mask on. And there's no comparison. No comparison. We experienced firsthand how that mask can save our life in real time. But this applies to what we're talking about today. Private victories prepare you for your public battles. I've had so many battles in my life, and I'm sure you have too. I've had many battles in my life, as I'm sure you have, but I can only speak intelligently about mine. So when I come across a giant, and I do come across giants from time to time, that initial recognition of what is about to occur, that can be intimidating. Whenever you face a giant, it can be totally intimidating. But we go back to David, and when there came a lion or a bear, I struck him and I killed him. I already have strategy. I already have seen victory. Now I'm gonna move forward. We gotta face these giants. We gotta find the giants. But when they come up on our doorstep, they're not gonna go away on their own. They're gonna stay, and they're gonna taunt, and they're gonna taunt, and they're gonna taunt until you go out and you face that giant. So the private victories I've experienced have allowed me, when I face a giant, I could say, okay, well, no, I haven't dealt with you before, but I dealt with your cousin a few years ago. I did. And I remember what worked against that guy. And that gives me the confidence to go towards that giant and face that giant and slay that giant. Private victories prepare you for public battles. So let me tell you, if you have not experienced these private victories, these quiet victories, not the ones that make social media, not the ones that we post on Facebook, I'm talking about the really difficult, the hard, the ego death. I'm talking about walking away from addiction. I'm talking about rectifying broken relationships. I'm talking about these private victories that prepare me for public battles. And if I haven't faced the lion and I haven't faced the bear, I'm probably not ready to face the giant. If I haven't found the giants within my own scope of responsibility, I don't have the confidence. I don't have the understanding. I don't have the knowledge to go out and face a giant that is threatening my community if I haven't dealt with the giants in my life. And that's what I want to encourage you to do today. Find a giant, recognize it, hear its voice, pick up the spiritual armor that's necessary to slay it, knock it down. What we have to do is we have to lock him in our heart. Remember the strategy. Remember that the King set us free, and move forward in victory. So Generations Church, as you go about your week and we discuss slaying the giant, I want you to know that the private victories prepare you for the public battles. The stuff that doesn't make social media, the stuff that you wouldn't want on YouTube, the stuff that you wouldn't want to read on Facebook. Find the giants in our life and slay them. Find the lion, find the bear. Use that strategy. Remember the victory that he has had in us before so that we can have it again in him. Generations family, I hope you have an amazing week. We will see you Wednesday and we will see you Sunday. God bless y'all.